You too, man. What is going on? Is LNH back with another video. On today, man, we have a special one. Dior Johnson and his official college recruitment. Man, I gotta say, I think we have some real insight as to where he will be going in the future. And next, Jelly Fam, aka Isaiah Washington, is back in the news, and this is huge. You're not going to want to miss it, so stay tuned. Let's get right into it. Man, Dior Johnson, you guys know this guy by now. Class of 2022, one of the best in his class, best ranked, and has been killing it on the EYBL circuit, to say the least. Now, this dude has honestly moved from so many different high schools, it's hard to keep track. At one point, he was at IMG, Oak Hill Academy, even played with Joshua Christopher, aka Jacob, at Mayfair. So he's played at a ton of different schools. But what's really exciting right now is, of course, Dior has announced what his top 5 schools are going to be, but I think we finally have a clue as to where he'll actually be going. Now let's take a look at this. Of course, his top 5 schools listed right now are University of Kentucky, Oregon, the MBL, which of course that's overseas, and that's where LaMelo Ball had played, University of Washington, and University of Alabama. Now, these are all such excellent options, but of course, one thing we have to look at and judge these players by are what the decisions that they made in the past. These decisions obviously are going to be a reflection of what they're going to do in the future, and let's look at what Dior has done. Him moving from even different EYBL teams as well. This guy's been on a ton of them, even played and teamed up with Jalen Green at one point on the circuit, which was really impressive as well. But him going from school to school really makes me think he's more of an opportunist. He is someone who wants to go where the best opportunity is at for him. A lot of people even thought this guy was going to go to the G League just because, of course, look at it. If you're going where the best opportunity is and the new hot thing, where would that be? Honestly, it kind of looked like the G League. But from right now, and we see these options, it looks like his top decisions are actually going to end up being college basketball. Now, I saw a really interesting comment that I have to let you guys know about. Now, let's take a look at this. I'd say Washington, just because they've had success with point guards in the past. Nate Robinson, Isaiah Thomas, DeJounte Murray, and Markelle Fultz. Now, that is huge. You guys have to think about, man, a lot of these schools, and specifically the University of Washington, is known for developing their guards. They've had a ton of guards come out of that school and be very successful. Even if you look at the guards that I just named, of course, all of those guys have been in the NBA and actually had pretty successful careers compared to other people. Now, of course, that doesn't 100% mean that Dior is actually going to go there, but it's really interesting to look at that school and see, okay, if they're really good at developing guards, and Dior, of course, being a dog on the court, I think this could be an excellent place for him to go, and especially being that an EYBL team that he previously played for actually has a ton of connections to this school, and a lot of people that have played on that EYBL team have actually gone to the University of Washington. Now, in my opinion, what I'm really excited about and what I think is really interesting about his top 5 is the NBL. I honestly did not think this guy would want to go all the way over there, just because it seems like if there was a place to go and you had to decide, let's say, between overseas or the NBA G League, in my opinion, I think the majority of people would choose the G League. It just seems like a better route as of right now, and especially for him, being that he probably did have that option to go there. Of course, you're only going to the NBA G League if you're one of the top players in the country. It's no doubt about that. They're not letting any scrubs in there. But with that being said, I'm surprised that this wasn't on his top 5 list at all, but instead was the NBL, which of course is Australia, where LaMelo Ball did actually play. Now, we have also had top guards go overseas before. You guys have seen it a ton of times. Even RJ Hampton was another highly recruited player who decided to go overseas. But I'm very curious what you guys think about this move. Where do you think he is actually going to go in the future, man? It really sounds convincing for him to go to Washington. But you guys know a ton of these schools are very good at developing guards. Even University of Kentucky as well. And Alabama is on the rise, so you never know where he's going to go. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, where is Dior Johnson committing to? Now, man, I haven't talked about Jelly Fam in a while, and you guys usually don't tune in to these type of vids, but man, I had to cover this. Now, just a couple days ago, Jelly Fam posted this on his Instagram, which is crazy. Now, if you guys take a look at it, Jelly Fam, aka Isaiah Washington, is actually declaring for the NBA draft. Now let's just take a look at this guy's history and what is going on with him. Now, of course, coming out of high school, this guy was about 6'1", 160, class of 2017, and was ranked the top 100 player in his class. Now, he was a 4-star recruit, and honestly, he was putting on for New York basketball, but especially the Jelly Fam movement altogether. He really made New York basketball popular again, and everyone worldwide was following that Jelly Fam movement. Now, of course, in my opinion, it kind of did die down, and he honestly lost a ton of popularity as well. Now, of course, he ended up going to University of Minnesota, where things did not go as planned. This guy was not getting a ton of playing time. His jump shot was looking pretty inconsistent, and things just did not go well for him at this school. A lot of people were questioning his skill. Was he really good enough to play at the next level? Now, after attending Minnesota, of course, this guy left and decided to go to Iona. Now, this is another school. It's definitely not as good as Minnesota. Competition there is definitely not as good. He ended up playing there for a while, but decided to leave that school as well. And the coach actually had left the school, and Rick Pitino is the coach currently at Iona. But Isaiah decided to leave there, and his last year of college basketball, he decided to spend at Long Beach State. Now, in my opinion, his stats honestly didn't look too bad at Long Beach State. This guy was averaging around 14 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 5 assists per game, and shooting just above 40%. Now, in my opinion, I think this was definitely an improvement from some of his other previous records at other schools. They definitely were not doing too good, and his shots were just not falling, especially his jump shot. That was something that he was knocked for, and I don't think it was the type of basketball that he played in New York really didn't translate to the college level like a lot of people thought it would. You guys know you're not isoing all the time, and you really want to have that consistent jump shot in college if you're trying to make it at the next level. Now, granted, he actually played pretty good, but the team's record was honestly trash. I got to be honest here. Now, their record was about 4-8, and overall they were 6-12. Now, that is not a good record at all. But to be honest, even though his stats don't look too bad, I don't really see this guy getting drafted. I definitely enjoy watching him play, and the type of style he has, he's so smooth on the court, is able to get to the basket very well. But just his style of play, I find it hard for that to really work in the NBA. Of course, you guys know New York is really known for that ISO basketball, Dykeman basketball, just going at people one-on-one. And you guys know at the next level, that's not really how it is. You kind of have to have the fundamentals in place to be able to play. And being that Isaiah, of course, his build as well is another huge factor that a lot of people are questioning. Now, ESPN has him listed about 6'1", 195. Now, 6'1" is very short for the NBA. You guys always try to bring up smaller guards that are in the NBA, but of course that is the exception, and that's not the norm at the end of the day. Now, do I think Isaiah Washington has a shot at making it at the next level? I'd say he does, but it's definitely going to be tough for him. In my opinion, I think if anything, this dude will either have to sign later on or somehow try to figure out how to get in the NBA G League, because it's going to be very tough for him to get drafted coming out of college, just because he's gone from so many different schools and really his performance was not the best in college. Now, I love seeing this dude play, and man, hopefully he can make it at the next level, but right now, in my opinion, things are not looking the best. And you guys let me know in the comments down below. First and foremost, man, where is Dior Johnson going? Let me know in the comments down below, as well as Isaiah Washington. What do you think about him deciding to go to the NBA and put his name in the draft? Will he get drafted? Does he actually have a shot? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, get a new notification every time I upload a new video. It's LNH, I'm out.